Hi everybody, it's Kris here from the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the GallowgateShots podcast and YouTube channel. We are back with another match preview. I am joined by Mark Walker and the man's name who I cannot say, and it's been picked up numerous times. Iain. I say Iain, I extend the E.
Iain.
Yeah.
So he's his name double E-N,
Iain.
As in second season,
As in like three E's and an
syndrome.
Iain. Like syndrome.
Syndrome.
Yeah. Iain's here. Hi.
It's just Iain. Yeah. It's a shit name, if I'm honest. I've never forgiven me mum for it, but
Right, let's get straight into the preview.
Even an Iain's mum.
She's a biggest fan as well.
Good.
Probably be
Is it
watching.
because our son's on it?
Probably, yeah.
Let's get straight into it. So Newcastle United are heading off to Brentford Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. Another trip down the other side of the country. It seems like every other week this happens though. But Mark, results this week didn't go to plan for Newcastle United.
I think the majority of them were all right. I think it's the one last night that's playing on everybody's mind, where Spurs obviously lost to Burnley, typical Spurs. So I think that's put everybody on a little bit of a downer, a bit of a negative. But hey, we've got to stop worrying about those teams that are below and worry about the ones above. Chase them.
This was my little argument in our WhatsApp group last night. Is we focus on ourselves here. We stop looking over our shoulders, and if we're picking up the results, then the teams below can do whatever the hell they want. It's not going to really impact our season as long as we keep on playing the way that have been. And over the last X amount of weeks and games, how many different performances have we seen from Newcastle United? I go into games now not overly confident and not confident that we're going to get 3 points, but I'm pretty confident that you're going to get some sort of decent performance from that player. Well, those players that are there now.
Even if they don't put the performance in, you're at least getting hard work and effort now and commitment to actually fighting for the match and not giving up and just rolling over like we have done in the past.
You look at the West Ham game and you're missing arguably your three best players in Trippier, Wilson, and Saint-Maximin, and you still put on a decent performance. There's players ready to come in there and prove a point now, and that's what's happened since we've had the 5 players came in January. And that's what we wanted to see, not just those players performing that came in January, but the rest of the players stepping up their game as well. It looks like going into the Brentford game that Saint is going to be missing again.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so Saint is currently in Monaco.
He's playing his little board game.
His board game? What board game?
You've never heard of Saint?
I've never heard of Saint's board
game.
game. No.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Oh, hold on. Is it
Helios? I think it's called.
Helios.
Oh, right. Aye, that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a board game.
Yeah, Helios.
He was giving away gold bars or something, or gold coins yesterday.
Monaco, isn't it? Just
is that where he just hides in the city somewhere and like pops out and like he has a gold bar?
I don't think that's how.
Is that not how it works?
I think that's Ant and Deck. I know it's easy to get them like the mixed up.
He's in Monaco. He is there for rehab. The board game thing doesn't bother us that much. Players can do whatever the hell they want outside the game. He's injured. There was a photo put on Instagram of him in like an oxygen chamber, wasn't it? And he had the mask on. And so he's obviously got some sort of muscle injury. Does that worry you? Or do I have enough without seeing currently?
I think I'm going to probably get shot here, but with how sort of erratic his performances are in terms of how consistent he can be, I think we're okay without him. Obviously, West Ham proved that we were, but he, like you say, he's one of your best players. He's a bit of a maverick. He can create something from nothing. So the sooner he comes back, the better. Just it's good to have those options. But I think based on the West Ham game, we showed enough that he we're all right without him. Especially sort of when you look at the quality of Brentford compared to West Ham, you would expect we to do okay without him.
You'd be a hell of a lot more confident if he was there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Mark, Brentford haven't won a game in almost double figures. I think it is now. Is it Dr. Newcastle time?
Well, yeah, that's what you fear, isn't it? When these little stats pop up, and when we're on a bit of a decent run of results with wins and undefeated and stuff like that, and we're going to a new stadium, playing against the team that we haven't came up against in the top flight too often because of the history there. We've played them obviously a few times over the years down in the Championship and that kind of thing. So it'll be a tricky place to go because it's like the new ground. I've never been inside of it, but I've seen it plenty of times. So quite a regular visitor to Brentford, randomly enough. So, but it's a tight little compact ground, and they do make a fair bit of noise to them. To be fair to them, so it'll be an interesting test. You would think, on paper, given their kind of where they are with their performances, the type of team, as Ian's just said there, that they're not at the same kind of level that you would expect from West Ham, Villa, etc., who have played in the last couple of games. But
the forms from the two teams going into this fixture, polar opposites.
Yeah.
So Newcastle going up and Brentford's
They are literally
into that
rock
relegation
bottom.
fight. Absolutely plummeting into it.
They've been missing their former Newcastle striker over the last few weeks as well. So I think that's impacted them a bit. He might be back fit. I don't know whether he'll start. He might be back on the bench. I think that's the kind of the talk around him. So, that'll give them a boost. Obviously, when they came here, he scored against at the Gallowgate end. So he'll want to do well. So he'll want to be getting on the pitch. But it just entirely depends on what Newcastle turn up. And I'm confident that with the performances that we're putting in, that you're going to see that effort and fight, and that even if we're not, being world beaters on the day, that we're at least grafting. So I hope that's the case, and even that doesn't desert with going into this. But I don't want to be overly confident because it's normally that's when it comes back to bite you.
It is, yeah. I'm like I said, I think I sat here last week and said that I don't want to be this overconfident Newcastle United fan because you come crashing
you were a
down
little
to
bit
earth.
though with. You thought we were still going to get a result?
I thought we were going to get 1-0 against West Ham. I thought it would have been very similar to the Villa game. And this game, the Brentford one, once again, I'm going to sit and say we've got enough there to get 3 points.
I definitely think we'll have. The only thing, it's just typical Newcastle where you've built sort of momentum. You've come up a team that haven't won, I think it's about 9 games, rock bottom of the form table. And I've just got a bad feeling, but you would think because of how positive you've been with performances, with individuals, just the whole mindset of the team now, that you would expect to get 3 points.
You'd be Bookie's favourite going into that one.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah,
100%. Another player that we'll have to talk about from a Brentford's point of view is Eriksen. Rumoured that, this was the game that the management were aiming for him to be back. Is he starting that one, Mark, or is it going to be another bench?
I don't think he'll start. He's played a couple of reserve games.
He played Rangers and he got a goal and an assist.
Great.
He's a bloody good player, isn't he? That's the top and bottom of it. Yes, his fitness isn't going to be there because he hasn't played a great deal of football. I know he was training with Ajax, like getting his fitness up and stuff like that before signing for Brentford. But just if things hadn't turned out the way that they did in the summer with him, then there's no way he'd be at Brentford. He'd probably still be at Inter, playing in Serie A. So that's how good he is. It's good to see him back, and obviously after what did happen to him, it's kind of a great turnaround because you don't often see it where they do continue to play afterwards, and it would have been a huge shame had he not been able to carry on with his career. So from a romantic point of view, it's brilliant to see them. I don't want him to get on the pitch because he is a danger, and I think that's the thing. If he gets on the bench, it would be maybe nice to see him for 10, 15 minutes just to see him back out there, and I think it would be a nice moment.
Do you think they'll bring him on if they are in a position where they're losing the game?
It could go either way, couldn't it? If they want to chase a game, he's the type of player that can pick a pass, unlock teams and stuff like that, because he has got that ability and cleverness about him. So if they need to get back in it, but equally if they're winning and potentially comfortable, they could just bring him in. So if it's quite an edgy one and it's close, maybe not.
Yeah. In regards to Newcastle United, question which we debate almost every single week at the moment. Two questions actually, and I'll start with you, Ian. Is
where's the best place to get a garlic bread special?
No, we're not allowed to talk about those anymore. Is defense? Are you sticking with the same defense? So you had
Kraft.
You had Kraft at right back.
That depends on Mankey, doesn't it?
So Mankey is fit. Apparently, he's been training this week. There's photos of him in training with the rest of the lads. But last game against West Ham, you had Kraft on the right. You had Byrne and Fabian Schär,
and then
you had
Target
on the left.
For me, if Mankey was fit, you start him. I do feel sorry for Kraft. Because the endeavours there, and you know what it is against West Ham, even parts against Villa, going forward, he does look to offer you a little bit more. He got a decent cross in.
He gets in decent positions.
Yeah, but when he's getting forward, that leaves him completely out of position. You've seen that nearly led to the goal against Villa that obviously got ruled out offside, and then he's give away the free kick. For me, it was needless on Saturday. But for me, if Manquillo, it comes down to your best players, and I think Manquillo is a better player than Kraft. You always want your best players to start, and if he's fit, then start him for me.
Yeah, three out of the four pick themselves, just based on what they've done over the past couple of weeks. It is just that question mark, and again for me, if Manquillo's fit, he has to come straight back in. I think Kraft maybe did get a little bit more stick than was warranted at the weekend, but he's not great.
It's a downgrade. Of course, it's a downgrade. I don't think there's any arguing against that. I think everybody knows that. But what I was saying the other week is he's never really had that run in the team. He has always obviously just came in as backup, and it's probably going to be the same at the weekend as well. He's probably going to drop position again, and it's going to be Manquillo coming. I'm the same with you. Manquillo comes straight in. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, put him in the team.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fitting as well that a Disney movie which just came out, there's a song saying we don't talk about Bruno. All that we've done over the last couple of weeks is talk about Bruno. Is he starting, Mark? Or once again, are we in the argument where you do not break that trio of the midfield players up?
This is the last couple of games I've said I would bring him in. This is probably the one where I wouldn't. Just based on, I think obviously Willock got his goal at the weekend gone. The fact that they are down the bottom of the form table, they're there to be got at. So rather than having that kind of battling midfield that I was expecting in the last couple of games, I think it's probably be a bit more space and ability to arrive in the box for Willock. So I'd probably keep him in. You don't drop Joe Linton. Maybe there's a question over his fitness, because I know he picked up a little bit of a knock.
I'm just smiling myself because I've heard so many people recently saying you can't drop Joe Linton.
It's lovely, isn't it?
How it's changed.
It's lovely.
How it's changed.
I've always said that. But it's again, there's a question mark over him. Not only him, Fraser as well. He obviously took a. Wait, I'm saying that took a knock. He seems to take a knock every
single game.
He gets kicked pillar to post. So if everybody's kind of fit, with the exception of probably Manquillo, I think it'll be the same team. It's just whether there is any late fitness issues around potentially Joe or Fraser.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I think again, it's I would never really change a winning formula. And obviously, I know like fitness, especially with the what is it, 9 games and
there's a lot of
2 weeks or something.
There's a hell of a lot of games.
You probably, like you were saying on Monday night, you'll probably see changes there. But for me, at the minute, it's working. I have the last couple of games expected Bruno to get a little bit more game time than he has. I think the injuries against Villa didn't help. In the way the game was going. I think I thought he might have got a little bit more time against West Ham. So
I think if that had been a home fixture,
probably
he
would
would
have.
have.
Fair point. I think, again, it depends how the game's going. But I would like to see him get a little bit more game time. But sort of what Eddie Howe was saying, he's quite sort of happy for him just to sort of.
Well, the thing is, confidence is high throughout the team,
Yeah.
and mainly so in that midfield position.
Yeah.
And those three players, how many consecutive games will that be now that they've played together? Be a handful now. And
Probably since the Man U game, I would have thought, maybe.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's
Longstaff
been,
would have been the
yeah,
yeah,
last
yeah,
one
was
in
the one
there,
that
wasn't
came
he?
in.
Yeah.
But it's been a
Still
handful
4
of
or
games.
5
and
games.
Mark, they've been fucking brilliant.
Well, it's. I mean, looking at the three of them, there's two players that have came in from. One of them, a lot of the time from me, admittedly, was have struggled in the past in Joe and in Shelby. Willock hasn't had the greatest of seasons until the last couple of games, where he's starting to get a run of games, and his form's picking up. He was starting to get back into those dangerous positions and that kind of thing. So you kind of change that formula when you look at it, unless it's, as I've said, a tactical change, an injury, suspension, something like that. But it's just bloody good to see it, isn't it? To see the difference in the players, the way they're kind of putting themselves about on
Controlling
the pitch
games, man.
Yeah.
So, but it's lovely to see, and I think again that's coming from the fact that they have got players like Bruno hanging over them, rather than a Jeff Hendrick, hanging over them. Like
What a horrendous thought that would Jeff Hendrick hanging over you.
It's that competition for places, isn't it? And it's bringing in quality into the team puts pressure on those that are either in the team playing, because they know if their performances drop, there's somebody there that's going to come in this equally, or if in Bruno's case, more than capable of coming in and replacing them for a decent length of time. So they're doing everything that they can to keep a hold of their positions, which is brilliant to see. And I think that's what you're seeing through the team at the minute. People's performances are picked up because there's that bit of quality came in. It's gave everybody a bit of a boost, and they want to be part of it, which is lovely to see.
I'll stick with you when we'll go straight to our match predictions. Are you going to give us a head and a heart one like you normally do?
To be fair, I think that both the head and the heart are in agreement.
In the same bracket this week, are they?
Yeah. Even though my head's saying don't tip it, just in case, but I think we'll win. Yeah, I can see I can keep a clean sheet. 2-0.
2-0.
2-0 Newcastle.
Oh, give us a goal scorer.
I reckon Kris Wood'll
He needs
get
it.
a goal.
He needs it.
Yeah.
Mate.
And Joe. I'm going to say which one. Hedge me bets.
One of the three that we'll have.
Willock. Yeah, I think Wood and Willock. We'll probably lose after saying that.
That's obviously the run that went on is fantastic, and I really wouldn't like it to come to an end. So I'm gonna say 2-0 as well. I'm gonna agree with Mark, and Kris Wood. I would like him to score.
Yeah,
I've said that literally every match prediction I've done, because he just needs to score, really.
Yeah, no, he does. I think the majority of fan base will agree with you. I can see it happening now where the fan base is splitting on opinion with Kris Wood, where some of them are going in one direction. Oh, shit, he hasn't scored a goal yet. And the other half are thinking he's offering more than obviously goals.
Yeah.
But the argument is
We
he's been
spoke
brought
about
in
that
as a
on Monday,
goal
didn't we?
scorer and stuff
I
like
think
that.
at the minute, though, for all we're not scoring loads of goals, we're scoring from different areas. So
Creating
we're getting
chances.
goals from midfield, from wide, from defenders. So if we weren't doing that, I'd be a lot more concerned. Obviously, he was being brought in to score goals, and he hasn't yet. But like you say, his link-up play, his work off the ball. I think it would have been against Villa, covering Maxi when Maxi was sort of wandering about playing his game. I think he does offer a lot more, particularly more than what the likes of Joe Linton in that position did as well. But yeah, he needs a goal for himself.
Yeah,
he's still isolated up there,
Oh, yeah.
but he knows what to do when he's isolated, because he's used to playing in that lone striker role, and particularly with Burnley when they didn't have a lot of possession. He is sniffing around, having to chase after things. So he'll work the defence, he'll run the channels, he'll come and drop in to drag defenders out of places. So there's an intelligence there that you get from having that experience. He's, you know, a New Zealand international, yes, albeit they're not the biggest, you know, country in the world and most successful, but he's played against a lot of international defenders, top quality defenders. So you've got to be a decent player to be able to do that. So you'll pick up little bits and pieces and work. And like you say, he's link up play. The work he does off the ball is what is for me is showing an improvement in our team and bringing others into the game.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as you two, believe it or not. I think we'll get 3 points. I do believe that. But I think it'll be a lot closer. I'll go with a 2-1 Newcastle United win, but I actually think we'll come from behind. I think they'll take the lead. Then we'll go on and win it. And I'm not worried about the defense. I'm really not worried about our defense, but I think it's just going to be a weak goal that we concede. It seems to be the case at the moment. We saw it against West Ham, where it's just a free header, basically. It's a great run. Of course, it's worked really well, but it's a free header at the end of the day. I think it's going to be a sloppy goal that we concede. But once again, I think that midfield will just dominate the game, and we'll control the gameplay, the speed of the game, and just how it pans out. I can't say anything other than that. And yes, it might come back and bite one on the arse, but it's a game, and God knows how many times we've spoke about this, but this is a huge game for us at the weekend. If we get 3 points, Brentford
we'll go above
back
Brentford with 2 games in hand.
Yeah, and Everton are back into it, and Leeds are back into it. You could probably argue that they're there right now, but
puts them right into it. Yeah,
gives us the
Could we
advantage.
go to 14th? Is that right? Is that what I saw?
So anything from, I think it's 12th or 13th down over isn't far away, that they're in touching distance. And the fixtures for Brentford after us are quite kind. You've got Norwich and Watford, I think it was.
Burnley, then Norwich, yeah.
Is it Burnley and Norwich? So this is our chance to
Everton coming up as well.
Yeah.
So Southampton as well.
It's our chance now to bring Brentford back into it before they have those fixtures. We need to take advantage of this. We have to, especially with Burnley picking up 2 back-to-back wins. They're following the same pattern as what we did a couple of weeks ago. So I don't think it's just a case where it's between Newcastle and Burnley who go down now, like it was a handful of weeks ago. You're looking at 4 or 5 teams now that have been dragged back in with. And Mark, you mentioned Leeds weeks ago that obviously they were dropping, and I mentioned Everton prior to Lampard getting the job, and since he's came in, pick 1 win up, I think it is.
I'm sure I've seen something on Twitter where it was before the Man U game. I think we've picked up, it's 11 or 12 points since then. I think Brentford have picked up 2, possibly even 1.
Yeah.
Just touching on sort of with you saying going behind, what I've noticed recently with the performances, and for how I feel as a fan, if we do go behind, I'm not worried. That's for me. Under previous management, it was they've scored, game over.
Yeah.
Where now we're coming up, we're picking up not even points, we're picking up wins, which is really, really good to see.
Yeah, no, I'm fully agreed with that one. If we went 2 goals down, that's a different story. But if you go goal down, especially early on, I'm convinced that we'll at least get back into the game to bring it back to a draw. But yeah, full of confidence. Anything to add before we move on?
No, just looking forward to it.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for listening or watching. There will be more stuff coming out from us. You most likely will have a post-match padder at the weekend. Matty is currently interviewing a fan from Brentford side of things, so to hear their thoughts on the game and how they are going to set up. Always a good listen on Beyond the Line. Mark, one of your favourites, isn't it?
I do. I enjoy it. So just a shame it's always after we record this, because I like to hear that side of things. So,
but yeah, thanks everybody. Do subscribe to the channel if you can do so, and if you listen to the audio, go and leave a review as well. We need some reviews on the audio. Help us get on a lot more searches. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye.
Ta-ta for now.